Chosen Vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man, Drew Tube, and I'm back at you again with another video. I need each and every vessel to hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Shout out to the Galactic family and the GCVs. Let's get right into it. I hope you stick around for this message. Killing another person that looks just like you because they killed someone you loved is not going to bring them back. You can hear how I sound. You could hear how I speak. You could sense the type of style I have. And I don't have anything to do with certain cultures and certain aspects of people that look like me. And I'm not ashamed of that. But the one thing I can say is this. I always wanted to be a part of and be appreciated and be able to be around and deal with people similar to myself. Not saying I like anybody else any less, but everybody always wants to be accepted and associate with people who look like them. It's just a aspect of human nature, even though we are divine. All right. But when you're outside looking in, because there are people who will probably feel that I don't have a voice in this particular area, in this particular topic, so I had to address it like that because of the title. And I see a lot of violence going on with people who look like me. And there's violence in every race and group of people, rather group of people than race, because race is something that's made up. There's violence in every group of people, in every demographic. But when it comes to people who look like me, whether it's just heavily promoted or heavily pushed, or they do what they it's just heavily covered, because there's violence in all communities. All right. But when it comes to us as a people, looking at like the Yo Gotti and Big Jook situation, I'm not no street dude. I'm just Drew. I'm just Drew Tube. So some people may feel that I don't really have a voice on this particular topic. You need to stay out of street business. You need to stay out of gang politics. You ain't got no this. You ain't got no that. I care about my people. And when I see us doing things that are similar to this type of situation, you feel it. You definitely feel it. You may not know them. You may not be in that type of lifestyle. You may have grew up different or whatever, but you know, um, I feel where people are coming from, and I overstand it. You know, um, I might not be like you. I might not have grew up the way you grew up or experienced the things you experienced or been through what you've been through, but you don't want to see people who look like you suffer and keep killing each other. And I know killing and stuff like that is not going to stop. Killing has been around since biblical times. You understand? People have always been, there's always been some type of killing, some type of death, some type of violence. But to see us just like continue to do this to each other, and that, like, I don't want to call it senseless violence, because if I lost one of mine over something, I'd be ready to go out and handle it too. So it's like, who's to say? But it's like, it's senseless in the sense of, why is it even happening in the first place? Look at what is over, you know. Look at why it's happening. Like, and it's not even necessarily the you take one of mine, we take one of yours kind of thing. It's like, why is it even happening in the first place? And I know why it's happening. It's happening because as a people, like, we lack a culture. as a because like gang violence and shooting each other and destroying our community, that ain't no damn culture. That's the culture we were given, but that ain't no damn culture. So it's like to see these kinds of things, and it's other people that's outside of our community that feel the same way. They don't want to see us do this to each other. All right, there's people in other groups and other subsections and subgroups that be like, damn man, why they doing that to each other? All right, and they really like they really either they want to help maybe or they want to know why so they could probably push some awareness or something. They don't want to see it. All right, they may not know how to help or whatever or what they could do, but they don't want to see it. So it's like they feel where I'm coming from. So taking another person's life that looks just like you because they killed someone that you love, I understand that you feel pain from that. All right. You may not think I do, but I do. All right. You lost someone that you love. You lost someone that you knew your whole life. You lost your brother. You lost somebody that you was related to. You lost your cousin. You lost whoever, somebody that maybe your dad wasn't there and this person was like a dad to you. Maybe you never had a brother. This person was like a brother to you. Maybe you always wanted some family. You had no family and this person was there and looked out for you and somebody just took their life. I understand the dynamics of what goes on in our community, even though I may not be as directly a part of it as you feel I need to be to speak on these particular topics. But I do have a voice, and rather than use it for something negative and to keep pushing certain narratives and keep wanting to see the violence happen and to want the violence be spread, I'm just giving my opinion on it. And killing another person that looks like you just because they kill someone you love is not the answer. All right, it's not going to bring them back. And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I don't mean this in a nonchalant way because a life has been lost. It's just that losing more life is only going to perpetuate more life lost. And to lose we can't keep affording to lose each other in a senseless battle. So many other things out there for us to fight. We're pointing our fight in the wrong direction. Not that we need to be going out and doing this to anybody else, but we need to be fighting for our lives. We need to be fighting to become the best version of ourselves. Life is already hard enough, and I know that's why certain things are going down like that's because people are hungry, people don't have food, people don't have parents, maybe their dad was shot, maybe their are in jail, maybe they're being raised by their grandmom, they're running the streets, grandma can't control you, you a whole young buck, you a whole young bull, you see how people are living in your community, you think people are trying to stop you from living your life because your mind's not fully developed yet and you're not going to stop me from living my life. Everybody got a gun. You're not going to stop me from living my life. Everybody's hustling on the corner. You're not going to stop me from living my life. Everybody's smoking, drinking, selling drugs, doing this and doing that. And not everybody's doing that. There are some people who are making beats, making their little music, cutting hair, selling candy, selling water. There's people out there with positive hustles, but then you got the wolves out there. All right, you got people out here that straight demons and straight wolves, and they're just getting it how they live, and they're moving how they're according to what they see in their environment. And I overstand that. I'm not from there, but I overstand that. You're not going to tell somebody that that's not the way to live when that's all they know, that's all they seen, that's all that they're around. That's that if they don't operate like that, they're going to be seen as food. If they don't operate like that, they're going to be picked on, bullied, beat up. Nobody's going to mess with them. All right, people don't want to be a lame. Nobody wants to not have nobody associate with them. Maybe they don't have enough positive influences in their life to where they feel strong enough to where they could go out and just say, you know what, I'm gonna be lame. You can say whatever you want. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you feel. I'm gonna be this regardless. It may not be whatever y'all are doing. It may not be a part of what y'all are doing, but I'm gonna go out and do this anyway. Y'all can laugh at me, make jokes of me, beat me up, jump me, whatever. I'm still going to be this regardless. I don't care what y'all say. And but another thing too is no, like another thing that plays on a young man's mind is he just wants to be accepted by his peers. That means by his fellas and by ladies. All right, a lot of females are gonna like, yo, females, man, the things that some of these ladies could say, especially are women in these are women in the hood and in the hood communities. Man, they got some mouths on them. They will tear you to shreds. All right. If you not a part of certain, you lame man, yo, they will destroy you if you're not a part of the norm. All right. And of course, a young man's going to want him a little girl. He's going to want him a girlfriend. He's going to want some women in his life. You know, he's not going to try to let everybody else get him, especially if it's one that he likes or he thinks looks good. And he's around her and seeing what she likes and seeing what she's interested in. If he's going to act how he got to act to get that girl. All right. So she'll be a part of his life because it's not a lot that we have out there. And when we don't have certain things like how everybody else's life is set up, all we know is what we know. All right. So I can only understand where people are coming from and how they live and how they're brought up and how they're raised up and the type of person that they are. They may not totally see the wrong that they're doing, or they may not even know what they're doing is wrong because this is what they see everybody doing. This is just how they see people living. This is their environment, and this is what people mean when they say they're a product of their environment. All right, you can't totally necessarily judge people because of where they've grew up or what they're going through or what they've experienced. You don't know what people have gone through. You don't know what they were taught. You don't know what they've seen uncles, cousins, dad, grandpa, grandma do. All right, certain people have just, and it's generations that have been raised like this, and it's just normal. In some aspects, it's just normal. So we gotta stop it. We gotta put an end to it. All right, we have to not necessarily continue to handle situations like this, but this is why social structure is important. All right, this is why you need men in the community. This is why you need boxing and things like sports and things like that as a positive outlet. Instead of shooting people, it would be better to like box and things like that. And I'm not saying you box somebody over the death of your brother, but before it even gets to this point, you disrespect me, you stole my girl, I'm gonna shoot you. And then now somebody's cousin shot another person's family member, and now that person's family member gonna want to go shoot them. So, and to start it at the root, you gotta destroy things at the root. It needs to be some things in place for people to get their aggression out because it's rough, it's tough out here, baby. It's rough, it's tough out here, baby. It's rough and it's tough out there in them streets, and it's rough and it's tough out there in them environments. You could see the pain in the young people's eyes. You could see the frustration and the hurt of losing loved ones, not having family members there, not having dad, not having mom, um, people being locked up, people being killed, people overdosing from drugs. All right, it's a lot of pain, and people are looking for outlets to get that pain out. And if you're in one of those environments, in one of those kinds of communities, and there's not a proper way for it to be let out, it's only going to be taken out on each other. And that's why we hate each other the way we do, and that's why we deal with each other the way we do. But the message still stands, as raw as it may come off. I'm not trying to hurt nobody or disrespect nobody, but killing another person that looks just like you because they killed someone you loved is not the answer. It's not going to bring them back. All right. I know you took one of ours, we're gonna take one of yours. You hurt us, we're gonna hurt you. We have to start finding better ways to handle situations in in the community because the killing is only going to keep resulting in more loss of life, more death, more killing, more sadness, more pain, more funerals. All right, so that's really what I have to say about it. I know some people are going to disagree. I know not everybody is going to agree, but it's a positive message that was I got a download for it. So when I saw the Big Jook situation and Yo Gotti, I was like, yo, I gotta drop this video because at least I could do something. I know they may not hear it, but for the younger people, the younger generation, the next generation, we got to start putting some things in place, and it's got to be some positive people dropping some positive messages on topics like this, because otherwise it's just going to only be the idea of more pain, more hurt, more death, more kill, more murder, and more violence. And it doesn't have to be that way. I understand not everybody's going to agree. Not everybody's going to feel this way. 21 Savage was just on that dude Shay's podcast, the one that just interviewed Cat Williams. 21 Savage was just interviewed by him, and he was like, if you take my brother, what's stopping me from taking yours? And that's a valid point. You can't knock that. If somebody takes your family member, is not going to be seen as something light. You just killed my family member. We coming after yours too. But we got to put an end to that, and we got to stop it at the root, so that way it doesn't get to that. I know they're going to be like, man, what are you talking about? You talking about boxing? Somebody just shot my brother. Somebody's brother just got shot. I understand that, but where it starts is at it's over something that it has to be something that causes somebody to want to shoot somebody else in the first place. Whether somebody takes somebody's girl, whether somebody's jealous of somebody because they don't want to work with you, or somebody is clowning you and you take it to heart because of something that they said, and maybe they get more girls, maybe they're a flyer, maybe they get more attention, maybe it's more eyes on them. All right, maybe this person is cooler than you and you got to accept that, and this person just clowned you in some type of way, and now your feelings is hurt, so now you want to go grab the Glock 9 and go and delete them. Like, that's not the way to handle things. We should have other things in place other than shooting people and hurting people, especially if we're not blacksmiths right now in this particular point in time in history, and we're not making the weapons. All right, is definitely other ways that should be going about this. But when people flood your community with drugs and guns and other toxic things and harassment from people who are supposed to be helping you in certain cases because of the way you look, tensions are high, frustration is high, anger is high, and if there's no positive influences, if there's no positivity being pushed, if people think positivity is whack and corny and lame because girls are going to clown them for it and they're not going to want that, nobody's going to want to be a part of that. So videos like this, it may not be the answer, it may not be the solution, but at least it could get people thinking positively more than negatively. And that's just my goal dropping a video like this. So rest in peace to young Dolph. Rest in peace to Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook. Rest in peace to all the fallen soldiers, everybody who out there who lost their life to street violence, man. And I know I'm probably not the best person to speak on it because you don't know, you ain't from there. Why are you talking on it? Bruh, I look just like you. I may not sound like you. I may not be exactly like you, but we're the same. We're from the same group, bruh. So I gotta say something. All right. I gotta say something, and I'm not going to allow other people's opinion to stop me from having a voice on these particular topics and these particular subjects, especially when not a lot of people are saying nothing. People are just accepting it. And I understand it's like, yo, he took somebody's brother from that family. This family is now going to come after this family. But more loss of life is only going to perpetuate it even more. It's only going to bring about more loss of life. It's only going to bring about more death. And the people that can drop a message, the people that could drop a message so that maybe somebody who got an ear to hear and an eye to see can see it and hear it and be like, yo, what he's saying is real. He's kicking some facts. So maybe it'll reach somebody, maybe this will help some people. Maybe, we could start to move in a positive direction if we start to change the narrative, start to open up some ideas in our minds, start to think differently about some things. So that way we could turn our mind around, and that way we could turn our situation around. All right, we could turn certain things around and make things better instead of them continuing down the wrong path and the wrong road, so we could help out future generations. I'd like to thank you for smashing this like button, smash that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, love, and light. It's been another Drew 2 special. Shout out to the chosen vessels. We out.